Hi everybody, it's Amber with Love Nest Design here, and I've got Miss Ginger Jones, one of the Pinky Cooper Jet Set pets, enjoying a little ice cream sandwich. I'm going to show you how to make one of these little ice cream sandwiches. This camera focus drives me crazy. Anyway, we're going to make one of these little ice cream sandwiches that Miss Ginger has. And hopefully we'll be able to do it really quickly. My intention is for this one to be pretty fast. So, what I have is some Aleene's tacky glue, which I just have sitting upside down so that it's ready to use. I have a chocolatey brown marker. I like the Big Permanents. The markets, this is called Woodsy Brown. Sharpie will work fine. A ruler, which is very important. Well, let me pick it up, but there it is. And then you'll need scissors at the very, very minimum, a box cutter or a sharp blade. I'm going to use this thing, which is actually a surgical scalpel, but one of these with a nice blade will work nicely. And then the most specialized tool I have is actually a set of crafting shears with these tiny little zigzags on them. That is not absolutely necessary, but if you have one, use it, because it's going to help. And then I have a straight pin, which we'll use towards the end. So, and the other supplies that you'll need are some of these Foam Zone foam pieces. It's kids' fun foam in white and brown, and I already have a couple of pieces pre-cut. And I've got a magazine here just because I love my little 50s Formica table and I don't want to cut on it. So I'm actually not a huge fan of using scissors on this fun foam, just because it tends to pinch your corners and stuff and make some funky looking things. So I'm going to try and use the blade and my fancy scissors as much as possible, but if you don't want to use those things, just substitute the scissors for all of these steps. I start off by, I've cut these into manageable pieces just to make them a little bit easier, and I'm going to pull this up away so it's not in making a visual mess until I need it. So what I've done is I've taken my little ruler and I've marked along the edge of the top and the bottom of the foam at 1 centimeter intervals, just to be able to make some neat little lines. And then I'm going to take the edge of my ruler and my brown Sharpie / Big Market, and I'm just going to make some quick lines on the foam about 1 centimeter wide. And then once I've got a few lines, I'm going to take my fancy pinking shears and I'm going to try as much as possible to cut on top of that line. And when I run out of room, I'm matching the notches and proceeding forward so that I make as neat of a little piece as possible. And then cut out a few of those, and once you've done that, then go in and you want to measure about 2 centimeters, and I just eyeball it really, and every 2 centimeters you're going to cut one of these wafery top and bottom pieces for your ice cream sandwich. 2 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters, whatever really looks good to you, but just, you know, you're kind of, it's a melty thing, so they don't stay perfect for very long, and I don't feel like this is a project where it has to be perfect. So then you're going to do kind of the same thing again with your white. You're going to measure, actually, I just want it to be a little bit smaller than my my centimeter wide, and what I'm actually going to do is just kind of take one of my little wafery pieces and eyeball it, and then I'm going to take my blade, and this gives me a nice clean cut, which is the only reason I do it like that on my magazine, and make some more of these strips that are like my ice cream, essentially. Don't forget to recap this, Amber, you'll stab yourself, because I've done it. Okay, so once you get those cut out, before I glue them together, I go ahead and do the little wafery part, which we'll see if it'll show you, but there's my fun camera. There are dots there to simulate the wafery look of the ice cream sandwich. And so the way I do that is, let's see, let me find one that looks really good. That one's pretty good. I start and I do all 4 corners, poking through all the way on my ice cream sandwich, and then I do 2 kind of in the middle pieces, and then you can even go and divide the difference more, and then kind of like you're making little invisible X's, I go in and I do the center of those spaces. Does that make any sense? Can you see what I just did? And then the very last thing that you have to do is you take your Aleene's or they make special glue for this foam stuff, but I'm sorry, I don't buy specialty products unless I feel it's absolutely necessary. You need a little dab, 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 and I actually just used the glue bottle to pick it up. I do want to say that while you're making your holes, forgot to mention this, I tend to hold things with my fingernails, and if you do that with this fun foam, it'll make little fingernail shaped marks. And I actually, when I did that with this first one, I kind of freaked out a little bit and was unhappy with the fact that I had made this little crescent shaped mark on my foam. And so what I ended up doing was I went in with my scissors and I kind of cut along the shape of that crescent once my ice cream sandwich was dry. So I've assembled it. See a little ice cream sandwich. I just want to let it dry. And like I said, I made a little accidental mark on it. So what I did to fix that was I cut out a bite, and then to make it look melty and gloppy, I used some of this slick t-shirt dimensional paint, and I just kind of traced along various parts so it looks melty gooey, and let that dry again, and then you can kind of see the glue dot here maybe. Boink! I used these glue dots, the mini sized ones, to actually just put it in her hand so she can hold it and pretend like she's eating it. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy making some of these. If you have the foam on hand, it should be a really super easy project. They turn out pretty cute, and I haven't tried, but I think they'd be pretty neat if you tried wrapping them in some like thin white paper and tearing them around like you would really do when you eat them. So anyway, keep checking with us, and I hope that you make some little ice cream sandwiches while you've got some days of summertime left. They're pretty yummy.